ICE come into my neighbor's house. And thank you very much for the response. It was very thought out, and I appreciate that. I just had some questions in regard to that experience happening in the wee hours of the morning, and my neighbor sending me the text. I am concerned with the rising amount of the federal officers not following really the Constitution and following the laws that protect us. And I'm trying to suss in my head, because you've got this federal local barrier in your operations. Where can we expect the Apple Valley Police to stand, or maybe send an officer to these types of calls, or maybe I don't know, like a defense lawyer, to make sure things are being processed correctly for the citizens of Apple Valley when this comes down? I think there will be more of it, and I think the way that the federal law is going, that they're pushing for more unconstitutional acts that protect the citizens from these types of actions. And I'm trying to figure out, have you thought about this in the future, and have you made a path forward of how to protect the citizens of Apple Valley? I know that I've gone and joined with groups in Minneapolis, and they want this complete break from the Minneapolis police. And I don't want that for our community here. I want the community to believe in you, that you're here to protect us from an overreaching government. And so, I have follow-up thoughts and questions about that, but just out of the gate, have you thought about this and how your department's gonna go forward?
Average, we have about 45,000 calls every year that our officers respond to. So we deal with things at the local level, enforcing city ordinance, state law, not necessarily federal statutes, federal regulations. We just don't get into that business. That's the federal government. What we can do, and what we advocate is for these federal agencies we ask them, hey, can you let us know when you're in our city? Usually they do, sometimes they don't. The process typically is that they will have something in operation in a city. They will call dispatch and say, hey, whatever federal agency, whether it's ICE or DEA or FBI or whoever it is, they will say, here's my credentials, here's the agency I'm with, we are operating in this area, and they'll give just like we do in our press releases, the 13400 block of Pilot Knob Road, or we're on Dunbar Court off of 147, and they will give that to dispatch. Dispatch sends that out to our department, so we know. Dispatch sends it out to the rest of the dispatchers, so that when they get a call from a neighbor or someone that says, hey, there's people with guns walking through my neighborhood, yeah, we're aware of that. That's whatever agency it is. If they are enforcing if it's a criminal investigation for a search warrant, something signed by a judge, an arrest warrant signed by a judge for a criminal violation, they may ask us for an assist for basically to be present, have an Apple Valley squad car there that can just show at least legitimacy that it's Apple Valley. So that's kind of how, regardless of what agency, that's what we typically do. We are not in a position to demand that they share information with us or seek permission. But what we have told residents is that if you're not sure who the person is at your door, you can certainly call 911. They may or may not know. They probably will know, because we also have shared radio channels, and sometimes those agencies are on radio channels. But we could send somebody to the home and at least verify that they are, a law enforcement agency. And again, sometimes that's the Eden Prairie Police Department, because they're following up on a check fraud. It may not necessarily be a federal agency. And we basically verify their identity. But my advice not my advice, but what people could understand is you're under no obligation to talk to law enforcement at any time.